week's AudEbook World. Mr. World and His Magical Box. Story by Aleli Du Airoso. Illustrations by Frances Alcaraz. The world is round, and my father had gone around it. For so many months he would go away, sailing the 7 seas, docking in so many ports. Our neighbors and relatives called him Mr. World. They teased that he was like a contestant in a beauty pageant. Guten Tag, I had just come from Germany. He greeted everyone after he came home from Hamburg. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Vive la France. Other times he greeted with words that he learned from his friends. Hola, buenos dias. Namaste. Ohayo gozaimasu. Hello. Father collected so many wonderful things that he brought home in his magical box. Oh, the colorful things he took out from the box. A poncho from Peru for you. And Father pulled down a bright orange and blue striped cloth over my head, which made my arms disappear. I gift you with a shawl from Bali, and he lovingly draped a golden silk shawl on Mother's shoulders, which made her eyes sparkle. These are water puppets from Vietnam. He presented 3 small chinky-eyed wooden puppets to my sister, a drummer, a woman with a basket, and a fisherman. Chechen tugged at the strings, and the tiny man raised its tiny fishing rod with a tiny brown fish at the end. And, oh, the very tastes of food from the magical box! Try this chocoretto from Japan, Mr. World said as he offered a box of reddish-brown rectangular chocolate covered in chocolate powder. There was also the maple syrup from Canada that made our pancakes smell and taste so good. The stroopwafels of the Netherlands stuck in my teeth but made me crave for more. The macadamia nuts from Hawaii were Mother's favorite, as she always cleaned up a whole canister. Father also taught us about the currencies of the world. This is a yuan from China. This is a rand from South Africa. This is a bolivar from Venezuela. He would show off crispy pastel-colored bills with images of animals, leaders, or heroes of other countries. My little sister Chechen didn't care and just tossed the bills away. My father was Mr. World, and along with the goodies from his magical box were his amazing and funny stories about the friends he made from different nations. There was Mr. Mel from Holland, who has twin blonde boys of my age. Mr. Jahid from India, who used to be a snake charmer before he became a seafarer. Senor Miguel of Chile, who painted scenes at sea. Chechen and I loved the jumping dolphins best. And Mr. Chong, who had a pet rat on the ship. Those were the short, happy days of summer in between the long months when Father was away. Most days there was no Mr. World to fix the leak in the roof, help me repair my bike, be funny, and make Chechen stop crying when she scraped her knees. No Mr. World on our birthdays, no Father even on Father's Day. But we were contented with the occasional phone calls when Father would greet us in strange words, ask about how we were doing, tell us mind-blowing stories about other lands, and be hilarious and comforting. We would laugh and cry, feeling strangely happy and sad at the same time. Then, one summer, Mr. World and the magic box failed to come home. Instead, there came bad news. Father's ship was taken hostage by pirates. When the rescuers came, the pirates got angry and started shooting at the hostages. Father was hit and fell overboard. Rescuers did not find his body. Days and weeks passed, and there was no news about him. Authorities said Father did not survive. Mother, Chechen, and I cried and cried. Every day was heavy with the feeling of doom that one gets before a strong typhoon, as we waited with uncertainty for Mr. World. Was Father really gone? Then, one day, a big box, much like Mr. World's magical box, arrived. It was heavy. "Maybe Father is inside," Chechen cried. Mother hurriedly opened the box. It was filled with goodies, stuff that Mr. World would bring home to us. There was no Mr. World inside, but Mother's hands began shaking as she opened a letter. "Dear Mona, Mien, and Chechen, we are sorry for your loss. Minggo, my father, was a good friend to all of us. We send you these gifts, hoping that they will bring some cheer today, just like how Minggo brought joy to us by always being such a cheerful, helpful friend." The letter was signed by many seamen, just like Father. "Mother, look! It's the doll that I asked from Father," Chechen cried. The box contained food, clothes, and things that we love and need, which the other seamen could not have known if Father had not told them. "Oh!" Mother gasped, cupped her hand to her mouth, and she started to cry. She was holding a canister of macadamia nuts, one of the dozens from the box. "Oh, Mother, look!" I pulled out an envelope filled with paper bills from the box, and Mother cried even harder when Chechen started identifying the different currencies. This is Rand, this is Euro, this is Yuan. It was not the last box to arrive. In the next days, my father's other friends sent us magical boxes. Others also sent money, but it was the letters that brought the sunshine in. They were stories about how my father shared his meager food, how he lent money, how he covered for a coworker who was sick, how he comforted others with stories and jokes. They said Father was their advisor who listened to their problems and brought many ship workers together. Most of all, they wrote about how Minggo, my father, told them about how I did well in school and my dream of becoming a doctor, of Chechen and her follies, of how Mother took care of us while keeping a part-time job. He was so proud of his family, of us. Even from across the oceans, we were always with him. The world is round, and my father, Mr. World, had tied a string around it and brought it to us. Now his many friends around the world had brought him home. Mr. World and His Magical Box. Story by Aleli Du Airoso. Illustrations by Frances Alcaraz. Thank you for watching my audiobook video. Hope you enjoyed watching and listening with me. Don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell to keep you updated with my new videos. Please give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and feel free to share it to other kids so that they can join our audiobook world. Remember, reading is dreaming with open eyes. See you on my next video. Bye!